What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a good one. We got President's Day sales going strong. So if you're watching the replay on YouTube in the next day or two, make sure you're kind of getting after it. Source lots of good stuff to source. A bunch of good sales on basically any big popular websites having a President's Day sale on some stuff that we can flip on Amazon. So if you want like the tactical info on that, just dive into any of the recent sourcing videos I've made. I've been on a tear making lots of good sourcing content, all kinds of good stuff on YouTube. So dive into that if you need to kind of learn the basics. And let me know what questions you guys have when it comes to selling on Amazon. What's up, Decode? What's up, man? So I'm live on YouTube and TikTok. So drop any questions you guys got in the comments. I'll be live for the next probably 20-30 minutes, and then we'll have a good time here. So you need an LOA to Ungate? No, you don't need an LOA. So you can use an LOA or you can use an invoice for 10 units of whatever product you want to get ungated in, basically. Yeah. So if you want to learn like the actual Amazon ungating guide, that kind of thing, just look up ungating fields of profit on YouTube. You'll find the game there. Let's see. How do you start Amazon FBA? What's up, man? Yeah. So start selling stuff that already sells on Amazon, right? So name brand toys, name brand makeup, stuff that people already buy. The easiest way is to just look for clearance stickers, that kind of thing, at your local retail store. If you don't want to go out to the local retail store, that kind of thing, you want to learn how to do it from home, then start looking through these storefronts of people who are already successfully selling on Amazon, basically. And then you can kind of combine that information with what is cheap today. That's like the short way to say it. Obviously, there's some technical know-how, that kind of thing. So just watch one of the recent videos I posted on YouTube. You'll kind of have it all spelled out for you. Yeah. Sweet. And for those of you guys on TikTok, let me know what questions you guys have about selling on Amazon. I've been selling on Amazon for over 6 years now. Done over $5 million on the platform, and yeah, happy to answer any questions you guys got. What's up, Andre? Yeah, what's up, man? FBA works. Yeah, absolutely. I know you've been in the game for a while as well, for sure. Is the profit calculator accurate? Yeah. So if you're seeing a difference between SellerAmp and Amazon, that's probably because you have like sales tax or shipping or something like that baked into SellerAmp. So SellerAmp's gonna be more accurate than whatever like the default is. Yeah. Sweet. And for those of you guys on TikTok, let me know what questions you guys have about selling on Amazon. And if you guys want a full free guide to kind of getting started, up in my bio, there's tons of free resources for you guys. I made a 4-hour-long free course on YouTube. There's a free course with the free Discord, all that kind of stuff. And for those of you guys on YouTube, that's also down below. Absolutely. So you're following the page on YouTube when you're doing it in college? Yeah. Still working hard at it for sure. Let's see. What should SellerAmp settings be as a beginner, not knowing what shipping will cost? Yeah, so 60 cents a pound is pretty typical for the price of shipping to Amazon. And then usually I'll also bake in an extra dime, quarter, that kind of thing for any random boxes or poly bags, labels, that kind of thing. Yeah, for sure. And also for those of you guys that are kind of getting started, if you're just trying to learn the game for free, we're doing a free class on Wednesday night as well. So the link for that is down below or in my bio on TikTok. Yeah, should be a good time. We'll be like 2 hours, some of the best free Amazon content on the internet. Be a good time. Yeah. Let's see. So keep the questions rolling here. How long does it normally take for an FBA shipment to ship and get processed? So from the time that you buy an item via FBA to when you first start making sales, usually that's going to be 3-ish weeks. From the day that you ship it out to Amazon to when you make the first sales, it's going to be anywhere from like a week to 2 weeks, typically. Yeah. Let's see. How much money do you need to get started? At least like $1,000. Yeah. If you have less than $1,000, then it's time to hit the part-time job for a little bit. Buy stuff that's really cheap from thrift stores, that kind of thing. That's how I got started as well. Just buying stuff from like local thrift stores and flipping that on Amazon for a little bit. Yeah. How much do you actually make? Yeah, so I shoot for 10% net margin after I pay my team that buys all the products, ships all the products, sources all the products for me. If your gross margin's around like 20%, then you're running a healthy business. Let's see. Why is 3 offer look stable? 1 year spiking. I mean, if it's stable recently, that's kind of what's more important, especially if it's the last 3 months there. Let's see. You're doing 250K. Now you're doing 25. Yeah. So go back to whatever was working for you and try to find like similar opportunities. Yeah, you've done the hard part. The hardest part is getting that like first $10,000 in sales. It's it's finding the first products. It's learning how to send a shipment to Amazon, how to get paid, all that kind of stuff. Once you've got the basics understood, like you know what to do. You just kind of double down on what's working, basically. What's the best way to start for beginners? Yeah, so the cheapest way is just like used products, used books, anything like that you've already got laying around the house potentially. And then the fastest way to learn is name brand stuff. So like going out to local retail stores is good. So like this picked up at Marshall's. I don't know if there's a little bit of glare. You can see it's like $2 at Marshall's, and this actually is like out of stock on Amazon. It goes for like $30. That's just like a quick example, right? So buy stuff that at your local retail stores or online that is just selling for way more. And like tactically, Johnny, if you want to see kind of how everything's actually done, just look up Fields of Profit free course on YouTube. There's a 4-hour-long YouTube video that is like the entire step-by-step, right? So you probably won't watch that all in one sitting unless you're really getting serious. But check that out for all you guys on TikTok as well. So Fields of Profit free course has everything you guys need to know. Let's see. Amazon doesn't accept. I've used Walmart. I've used Sam's Club. I've used all the retailer invoices. Yeah, facts. They very much do. Sometimes you just have to submit a couple times. Let's see. Can you do a quick tutorial on reverse sourcing? It's kind of hard with like the current setup. If you just look up like reverse sourcing Fields of Profit on YouTube, you'll see me kind of break it all down, that kind of stuff. It'll be a lot more professional and smooth than trying to like show you guys on the screen over here. If everyone buys the same stuff and sends it in, yeah. So if everyone bought the exact same item, then sure. Luckily, there are. Last time I was running the numbers, there's just under 800,000 products that sell 30 times a month. Amazon's not on the listing. The brand doesn't sell the listing, right? So that's kind of our opportunity pool, is we can sell 800,000 different products that kind of meet all the criteria that we want to look for. So from there, it's a game of how do I find some of those products that I use a coupon code and maybe a discounted gift card and just as many different ways as possible to make things cheaper from these big websites. And the real competitive advantage is creating discounts. It's not just like finding a product for $10, selling it for 30. It's finding a product for $20, using a coupon, discounted gift card, a little bit of cash back, creating that margin so that it's not quite so easy for everyone else to find. Let's see. Yeah, you can use 10 units from Target, Teresa. Yeah, you definitely can. Unfortunately, a lot of Amazon reps don't know their own rules these days. It's just kind of a part of the game. That's honestly the worst part of selling on Amazon is Amazon themselves. The rest of it is fairly straightforward. Let's see. Do you only do RA? So I do like 95% online arbitrage. The rest is a little bit of wholesale here and there, and yeah, a little bit of retail arbitrage, but pretty much all online arbitrage. So I just buy from like Walgreens.com, Kohl's.com, Vitacost.com, big websites, and sell those on Amazon. Yeah. How do you get ungated? So you just buy 10 units of whatever brand that you want to get approved to sell from a legit name brand retailer. Ideally, like I like to buy directly from the website if the brand has a website. So like, for example, if you want to get ungated in Nautica, you would take the invoice from Nautica, from something you already bought profitably that's selling for more on Amazon, and then submit that Amazon or the invoice to Amazon basically. Let's see. What should you include in the FBM cost on SellerAmp? So that's going to depend on the weight. So usually like $4 to $5 if it's like under a pound, maybe up to like $8. Yeah, just next time you get an FBM order, Michael, write down a bunch of weights and dimensions and kind of see what prices you end up getting. Let's see. Yeah, you can still use 10 on anything that's saying 100 though. A lot of Amazon reps are even just saying that it's like a glitch, that kind of thing. I didn't personally take a course, Lisa. I started selling like 6.5 years ago, so there's basically no one talking about what I do these days. So I'm just kind of trial and error, that kind of thing. So I kind of documented everything that I learned along the way, and now it's all free on YouTube for you guys. Can you sell pre-owned games? Yeah, you definitely can. I sold some some used video games and stuff like that back in the day, if that's what you're thinking about. Like going to Goodwill, thrift stores, that kind of thing. I would sell like the $2 video games for $20-$30 if you find the right game. Let's see. How can you learn? Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, so Lint and Lisa. So just look up Fields of Profit free course on YouTube, and you'll see there's like a 4-hour-long YouTube video for you. What's Boxum's purpose? Yeah, so Boxum is one of the softwares that you'll use for pretty much any Amazon business. It helps you make shipments super easy. You also get like these like 2D barcodes. So like this this barcode label. It'll help your products check in faster at Amazon, so it speeds up your cash flow. Tracks your profit. Something, if you're just using like the default, you're not going to have your profit tracked. You're going to have to make like a big complicated spreadsheet. You're going to have a bunch of analytics tracked, all that kind of stuff. So just kind of it's just like a basically Abadel, yeah. It basically makes the value of your time more, which is kind of the priority as a business owner, right? Yeah, so Boxum for shipments and analytics, that kind of stuff. Try it free for 2 weeks, and then Seller Amp for sourcing products. You can do that for 2 weeks as well. Let's see. No, can you make products non-refundable? No, that's why so many people shop on Amazon. Yeah, that's why so many people shop on Amazon, is because it's a good customer experience. So there wouldn't be as many sales if that wasn't the case. You can sell items that aren't eligible for returns, like grocery products. Sometimes like supplements are like that as well. Yeah. You cannot do it through Amazon exposing. Yeah, it has to be Boxum or a third-party software. Books from thrift stores, a decent product, or better starting with items at TJ Maxx. Yeah, so going to thrift stores and that kind of thing is great if you have like less than $1,000. You're gonna make a lot more money if you have a decent amount of startup capital, just because you can spend more money per product, and just like you'll grow faster the more money you can spend, basically. So if you're like dead broke, then yeah, start with some used books, that kind of thing. Let's see. Why should you use Boxum versus Amazon? Yeah, Blue. So way faster than Amazon. You can't track your profit on Amazon. You can't track like advanced analytics. You can't use 2D barcodes on Amazon. So just kind of one of those things. If you're kind of serious about saving time as a business owner, then it's a no-brainer. Let's see. What percent of VA leads do you actually end up buying? Yeah, good question. So it really depends on the virtual assistant, kind of how long we've been together. But honestly, it's probably somewhere around like 70-ish% at this point from the ones that are well trained. And a lot of the ones we don't buy are just because they like went out of stock since they found them, or something like that. But yeah, every now and then everyone's gonna make a mistake and miss seeing it's a 2-back and that kind of thing. Let's see. You have 20K in funding. Yeah, that is plenty, man. Honestly, if you have that much money, I would not spend it all at once. Just because like it's natural, you're gonna make some beginner mistakes. So set aside like $1,000 to $2,000, see how it goes, start making some money, and then once you're like, all right, I'm kind of learning the ropes, then put in the other 18 grand you're talking about that you got there. Yeah, don't dump all the money you have into Amazon all at once. Just kind of take it slow for a month or two, learn the basics, and then go crazy once you're kind of getting there. Let's see. Can you sell on Amazon? No. Recap. Yeah. Yeah. So if Seller Amp's like $20 a month, if that is prohibitive, then you're not ready to be a business owner, to be honest. You got to be willing to invest money to make it, right? Because if you can't spend 20 on product research software, then you're not going to want to spend thousands on the actual products, right? Yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. I get it though. Definitely a mindset shift. Like when I first started, I'd buy like $100 for the products or $300 for the products. It's like, damn, this is so much money. Like this is crazy. And you just kind of get used to it. After a while, you'd be dropping thousands of bucks a day and be like, oh yeah, cool. Or like do $2,000. It's like, oh, that's a bad day. Like it's just kind of you just get used to it, for better or for worse, because it means you're always wanting to level up. Let's see. Yeah, you don't need that, Michael. That's for the UK. Just stick to Boxum for that. Do you recommend sticking to a niche? Not necessarily. Typically, I'll just buy anything that's profitable. It is good in the early days, though. I know you're not a new seller, super cool guy. I know you've been around for a while. So it can be helpful in the beginning, just because you might already have some kind of personal interest in a niche that kind of helps you source there and know where things are cheap, that kind of thing. But at some point, like there's no reason to I'm only going to sell this type of product, even though you could find a bunch of products in beauty. So yeah, just kind of stick with that. What do you use to keep track of purchases and expenses? Yeah, so Boxum tracks everything that happens on Amazon. So cost of goods sold, Amazon fees, all that kind of stuff. And then I just use like QuickBooks to track all the software expenses, boxes, all the stuff, all the expenses that happen off of Amazon, basically. Let's see. Yeah, so if you use Boxum, you don't have to open Amazon at all for shipping. That's kind of the point. Yeah, it saves you from having to click a bunch of like unnecessary boxes, a bunch of unnecessary steps that Amazon makes you go through. Yeah, it just makes the process faster. Let's see. When you get Ungated, do you create a new listing on the brand? Yeah, so the whole point of selling like brands that already sell. So like this little toy car, for example, it has a listing on Amazon that already sells super well. So you just list the product on that listing, and then when the customers buy it, then like you don't have to do the marketing or anything like that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Brandon, there's a million different ways to make money online. I'm assuming you're selling something relating to TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, I don't care what you guys do, as long as you do something that makes your life better. If you sell on TikTok, sell on Amazon, sell on eBay, open an agency, whatever you do, just make life easier. Find something you like doing. Yeah, exactly, Brandon. Yeah, so you're trying to sell something. Yeah. What's the best way to calculate profits for grocery items? Yeah, so that's where you use SellerAmp, GH. Yeah, absolutely. It's free, Brandon. Yeah, chill out, man. Chill out. Do you ever buy Legos going out of production, sit on them, and sell next year? I've done that a little bit. Yeah, it's not like the most. It's not the most like high ROI way to do Amazon by any means. But it's fun. Like I wouldn't do that if you are sticking with. Yeah, I wouldn't do that if you are not like super capital. Don't have a bunch of capital, basically. Yeah, wish you could sell toys. You get better. That's interesting. I have insurance through Next. You could try that. I also see a Canadian flag, so maybe there's different rules in Canada or something for you. Can this be done in Canada? Yeah, Journeys. There's a lot of Amazon sellers that sell on Amazon Canada and just kind of stick with the Canadian marketplace. There's also a bunch of Canadian sellers that use prep centers. You can just ship to a prep center that's in the U.S., keep the whole operation in the U.S. basically, and just kind of manage everything remotely more or less. Yeah. Let's see, different rules. Okay, that makes sense then, Kevin. Yeah. I hadn't heard about that, but in Canadian market, that's interesting. Can you use AI to learn what you do? It could probably help you. Yeah, probably show you like some good resources and stuff. If you're just trying to learn the basics, though, it's all on YouTube. So just look up Fields of Profit free course, and that's everything you need to know, rather than just trying to like piece together a bunch of random information all over the place. And then also for the guys that are kind of getting serious about this stuff, we've got a free class going down on Wednesday night. That's down below on YouTube, up in the bio on TikTok. And we just jump in for like 2 hours. We source products, show you how to get ungated, show you guys some live exclusive stuff. So get registered for that if you're kind of serious about making some money on Amazon this year. Yeah. Let's see. Is it annoying to get squeezed by Amazon on fees? So a lot of times when fees go up, we just raise the prices. Usually there's like a small period where profit's lower while everyone's getting used to like what the new fees are, and then prices just go up. So it just means prices on Amazon get higher. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Try to buy someone's guide. Yeah, Angie, you can just learn all the basics for free. Yeah. Yeah, you can just learn the basics for free. You're saying it seems so hard. Yeah. So making money in general is hard, right? Working a 9-to-5 for your life is hard. Starting an agency is hard. Making cold calls is hard. Trying to sell stuff is hard, right? Starting an Amazon business is hard. Just pick the thing that you can kind of see yourself sticking with doing and actually enjoy doing for a long time, basically. Yeah, it's gonna take you a second to find the first product. I know for me, it took me multiple days because there was like no good information out there when I was starting. Now there's a lot, like try to solve that a little bit with lots of good info online, but yeah, it's going to be hard at start, right? And that's why it's profitable. If everyone could just load up the laptop and they've got a million profitable items, then it probably wouldn't stay profitable very long. What's up, Beck? Good to see you, man. Good vibes. Do you end up losing money trying to get ungated? Can you return items you bought to be ungated? You can return them. Don't make a habit out of it, just because later down the line that you might want to buy a whole bunch of something from that retailer and you gave them a bad name because or you like made them think you're trying to scam them or something in the long term because you returned a bunch of products. But yeah, usually when I'm ungating perfect, I'll just use the invoice for something I already bought profitably. Yeah, Magnus, you can still use 10 units on those. Let's see. Yeah, Abdul, use SellerAmp. It's half the price and more features than the other tool you mentioned. Let's see. Do you have to buy a course? Absolutely not. Yeah, just learn for free. Learn for free. A lot of people will, because it can kind of help accelerate the growth if it's like the right course, basically. But you can definitely learn for free. Yeah. Yeah, or just kind of build up a little bit of money in the early days, that kind of thing, and then once you know it's something you want to do, shorten the learning curve, all that good stuff. I definitely invest in saving myself some money and time, hiring people, and buying education, that kind of thing these days. If you're dead broke, then don't do it though. Are companies selling pre-built Amazon stores a scam? Yeah, so 99.9% of them, yes. You just got to kind of think logically, right? Like, why would you be able to pay someone like 30,000 or 20,000 bucks or whatever they're charging, and then they'll just in perpetuity run your store forever? Doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So what a lot of those like pre-built stores will do will you'll be able to like own the store or whatever, and then they'll just do drop shipping on your account until you get banned. So be careful for sure. Let's see. Better to source from China. So you don't need to source from China. That's like private label. I buy from just big American retailers basically. Let's see. Notice the gift cards cancel that cash back a lot of times. Sometimes it won't let you stack, but gift cards are guaranteed. Cash back is just bonus money. So that's kind of how I like to look at it. I don't ever include cash back in my margin. So just be careful with that. Let's see, KPF setting. There's like you can just filter down to stuff that would be like a pretty arbitrageable product, basically, John. If you haven't been on the free class before, we'll jump into some KPF on that as well. Let's see, best niche for beginners. There's not necessarily like a best niche. If you have like anything you're already like personally interested in, that's good, because you'll kind of know what like where to buy products, where they might be on sale, all that kind of stuff. And from there, just kind of focus on, so like you can just open up the stores of people that are already selling like very arbitrageable brands. So like think like Stafford, Athletic Works, even like the retail store brands like Great Value, Up and Up. You know that they have to be buying those brands from Walmart or Target. So the other items that those sellers are selling are also going to be from big websites. And you just kind of reverse source from there. Appreciate you, 10GH. I'm sure it's probably like a buck or two. Appreciate you. All FBA or FBM. I do pretty much all FBA. FBM is good in the early days though, because you can list an item and then kind of test the concept, see how fast it sells. If it doesn't really work for you, then you don't have to restock a bunch. If it does, then hey, I've sold 5 of those the day I stocked it in. Let me buy like 100. Get as many as I can, kind of thing. You get playing around with the pirate ship, shipping to certain zip codes, it gets expensive. So you don't need to use pirate ship unless there's like some very specific cases. Like if you're doing a hazmat shipment to FBA, I've used pirate ship a little bit. For the most part, you'll just buy your shipping through Boxum for FBA, and then you just buy your shipping through Seller Central for FBM. Let's see. Suppress buy box, no buy box means a no-go. So not necessarily. If it has a good history of there being no buy box, then you can definitely go for it. Where it becomes a problem is if the buy box just went away like today, then a lot of times the sales might decrease. But if it consistently has no buy box, then it can be a pretty good item. Let's see. Are there stores you should avoid while storefront stalking? Yeah. So usually I stay away from like 500 plus feedback sellers. They tend to be, very wholesale centric or, arbitrage sellers that kind of have, like a kind of their favorite website really, really zeroed in. They've got like the right coupon. They buy the same item, every month, and it's only the right price, like once a month, that kind of thing. Usually just kind of I'll look through like the first like 10 to 15 products on a storefront, and if there's nothing even like close to profitable, then I'll look for another store to stock. Let's see. You watched your video today. Weird coincidence. Sweet. What's up, man? Very nice. Sweet. Currently away from home, are you able to ship items to your apartment? Use the invoice with your apartment address. So like when you're buying things, just make sure that the address that's on either the billing or the shipping address is your Amazon account. That way, in case Amazon ever needs your documents to prove that they're real or anything like that, you'll be good to go, basically. What's up, man? What's up, Jahid? Can you repeat coupon codes? Entering different. Oh yeah. So this is good. So like a lot of you guys, when you go to a website and say like punch in your email for 10% off, you can do that infinitely. So let's say your email is mark@gmail.com. Just add a mark plus whatever you want. Usually I'll just smack the keyboard a little bit. And then it redirects the coupon code to mark@gmail.com. As long as it's before the plus, it redirects to whatever is before that, basically. That way, when you're looking at a website and you need like that 10 to 20% off, you can punch in your email and they'll give you a coupon code. You can do that infinitely with that. Can you give advice on how deep you should buy on a single ASIN? Yeah. So on Malik, I know you've been learning the game. So at some point, you're gonna reach a point where your biggest regret about a lot of products isn't like, oh, I made a mistake or I'm gonna lose some money here. It's, oh, I should have bought more. So at that point, you start skipping test buys until you're at that point where a lot of the items you're buying, you're like, man, I wish I would have bought more. I knew that this was going to be a good item. Until then, buy like 5 or 10 of the product, just kind of based on how fast it sells. If you see it sells like 1,000 times a month, maybe test buy, 20 to 30, see how it goes. If it sells 30 times a month, test buy, 3 to 5. And then eventually you're going to get to the point where you just kind of just eyeball listing and know how fast it sells. Let's see. When you ship, you need one FN SKU label on each unit and a shipping label on each box. Yeah. So here you'll put a label like this on every product. You can see like here's this example. I put like the FN SKU label over the barcode, and then you'll put a FBA box label on the outside, and then a UPS box label. And that's everything you need basically. Let's see. How to get Ungated, because they don't provide invoices, only sales orders. Yeah, so online order confirmations with the tracking information is an invoice. So don't get too hung up over like the specific wording of anything. So you just download the email they sent you when you purchased the item. Basically, it's $5K enough to start for Amazon. Yeah, for sure. That's way more than I had. That's definitely way more than I had. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so you're asking about the email thing. Yeah, so so when you got, once again, I'll repeat that. So when you go on a website and you can punch in like your email to get a 10% off or whatever, do your email plus whatever you want at gmail.com, and then it'll redirect to your actual email. And as long as whatever's before that Gmail is unique, that's why I just spam the keyboard, so it's just random stuff. It'll send to whatever's before the plus. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. Average profit margin. Yeah, so I shoot for like 10% net after I pay my team, software, cost of goods, all that kind of stuff. If you're around like 20% gross, 15 to 20% gross, then you've got a healthy business. Using wholesale. Yeah, so I do pretty much all online arbitrage deseller. Yeah, so I buy just like from big websites and flip that on Amazon. And if you guys need to see like the full step-by-step, like how I actually source everything, we're doing a free class on Wednesday night. So up in my bio on TikTok, down below on YouTube. Make sure you guys, it'll be like 2 hours. Tons of good free value for you guys. We'll source some products together. Come asking questions you got there. It's a little more formal. We'll have some slides, that kind of stuff to dive in with you guys as well. Does it matter how much inventory you have when you're first starting out? No. Yeah. Whatever you can afford. Obviously, the more inventory you have, the more sales you're going to make. But if you got, $1,000 to put in inventory, great. If you got, $10,000, even better. But yeah, don't feel like you have to have some arbitrary dollar amount spent on inventory, that kind of thing. Whatever you're comfortable with. This Wednesday, yeah, Isabel, this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll do a free class for you guys. How much can you make with a 3K startup? Yeah, so if you're trying to figure out like your profit goals, the way that most Amazon goals work out is, let's say you have, so Michael, you said you have $3,000. Typical ROI is about 30%. So when you spend that $3,000, you're going to make like $1,000 or so in profit, right? And it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to do that. And then you just keep the ball rolling, keep growing capital. Like I've started with like $1,500, and now we spend, around $100,000 a month on inventory. Just kind of build just off that like initial snowball of just continuing to reinvest in the business. Let's see. Not sure what that is. Aloha. Yeah. If you started your Amazon seller as a sole proprietor, how hard is it to switch to an LLC? Yeah, I did the same thing. Just before you change any information, this is important in Seller Central. Before you change like bank account, LLC information, tax info, that kind of thing, send send a notification to Amazon just saying, hey, I'm changing this important information about my account. That way they don't think you got hacked or something when you go and change your bank account, that kind of thing. Yeah. Just they want to make sure it's actually you changing your account info, basically. Why don't you look deep into a storefront? If I'm finding some items, I definitely will. I'll look through every item if it's good. But there's no reason to like waste a bunch of time if you're not finding anything like even close to good, I would say. You just need to get started and motivate. Yeah, for sure, Lance. Yeah. Just like you can learn as much as you need on YouTube for free. Just look up like Fields of Profit free course. And you probably heard me say that already. Been on here for a little bit. Learn the basics. Go spend $500, $1,000 on inventory, whatever you can afford to just throw at it. See how it goes. And yeah, the big thing is just like get that first sale as soon as possible. Because as soon as you have that first sale and there's actually money coming your way, that's when you're just like your brain lets you actually be like, all right, this is real. Now how do I get more of that? Not that it's not just like random people on the internet talking about how they're selling on Amazon, basically. How can you scale fast? Yeah, Malik. So in early days, you want to buy a lot of different things in small quantities, and then to scale that, you buy deep on the things that worked, you restock a bunch, and then you find similar opportunities. So let's say you found a certain website, a certain brand, you got a 30% off coupon, you found a good item. All right, let me look through all the other items in that brand that are also under that same coupon. You'll probably find some like it's about finding adjacent opportunity, and adjacent opportunity you can go way deeper on, basically. Let's see. How do you get the product? Who pays for the shipping? Yeah, so I buy from like big websites, Jason, and then the shipping to me is free because typically when you're buying on websites, it's like $35, $25 free shipping, and usually we're spending at least a couple $100, if not a couple thousand, on our orders. Just because you're buying in bulk quantities. And then as far as shipping to Amazon, you'll make shipments through Boxum, and that costs about 60 cents a pound to ship to Amazon. Or when you're doing FBM, you'll buy the shipping on Seller Central, and then it depends on how much the product weighs. You get some discounted shipping rates through Amazon as well. Let's see. Asking for a couple hundred. Yeah, you can still use 10 units on those, Isabel. I've definitely been doing those. Let's see. Yeah, Deal Hunter, we got a big analytics update that is it's in beta right now. P&L, category profitability, all the kind of basic or like more advanced analytics type of thing. Yeah. Interesting both. Interesting. Would love the story on that. How do you set FBM settings in SalaryAmp? So yeah, when you're going and listing products or like you're doing your fee calculation, you just go onto the fee calculator and toggle it to FBM, and then add whatever your cost estimate is for that weight and dimension. You keep items in a warehouse or your own place. So yeah, I shipped it to my house for a really long time, and now I use a prep center. A prep center, I pay them like per unit to ship to Amazon for me, like $1 to $1.50 a unit, and then that way I'm not like managing a big warehouse full of people and that kind of thing. Very interesting, both. Very interesting. That's funny. It's natural for some people to be skeptical about kind of doing things on their own. Let's see. How can you get OA products for your new account? Yeah, so if a brand is gated and it lets you apply, then it is not an issue. You can get ungated. Just look up like Fields of Profit Ungating on YouTube. There's a good tutorial I got for you on that. And then there's also auto ungated brands. So stuff like Stafford, J. Crew, 32 Degrees, Athletic Works, and then see what other brands the people on those listings are selling. You can kind of start with those like beginner-friendly brands I just mentioned, and sell those while you're waiting to get ungated in the things you've also found profitable. You got invoices from other kind of big retailers. Yeah. Keep getting denied with an actual invoice. Yeah, just add a picture of the item and add the tracking. That's been helping a lot. Sweet. Probably gonna go ahead and wrap up here for the day though. Good vibes on a Sunday. You guys have a good rest of your day, and then make sure you guys come to the free class on Wednesday night. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna dive into all kinds of different product sourcing information, all that kind of stuff. That's up in my bio on TikTok, down below on YouTube, and I'll probably be live again before Wednesday as well. But yeah, good vibes. You'll have a good rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys again very